kasih. Terima kasih Saudari Pengacara Majlis, yang berbahagia Datuk Seri Hasnul Zamzam, Ketua Setiausaha MOSTI. Tahu apa itu MOSTI kan? Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. Puan Nuzia, IKSU, MOSTI, Profesor Datin Hafsah dari Petronas, Profesor Zamri, Profesor Khairudin, saudara-saudari sekalian, salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia Madani, dan selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Maaf saya dan batin. Hari ini saya berasa sangat berbesar hati dapat bersama dengan saudara-saudari sekalian. In fact, saya namakan ini adalah kali pertama saya ada di dalam kampus untuk bercakap tentang teknologi dan sains. Dan kita namakan TED Talk. Dia lebih kurang macam menyamar sikit lah, macam TED Talk, TED. Saya ingat hari ini saya akan pakai macam Steve Jobs, tapi tak ada ke, kena guna mic ini juga. Tapi tak apalah kan. Saya nak buat satu survey dulu. Sebelum ni saya nak tengok siapa yang pernah tengok video saya. Ada pernah tengok yang publicity video untuk TED Talk. Saya ada nampak saya kena hantuk kan, kepala kena hantuk. Sebab program ini kepala saya kena hantuk beberapa kali tau. So please be grateful. So hadirin sekalian, hari ini saya akan sentuh sedikit tentang the overall picture of science, technology and innovation ecosystem in Malaysia. Dan of course Datin Hafsah akan sebut lebih banyak dalam AI because she is the expert. But kenapa saya ingin nak adakan TED Talk bukan saja di Universiti Malaya tetapi di seluruh universiti di seluruh negara. Sebab kita jarang-jarang bincang tentang sains, teknologi dan inovasi di dalam universiti. Walaupun universiti merupakan tempat yang paling sesuai untuk kita bincang tentang sains, teknologi dan inovasi. Dan itu sebabnya saya rasa baik untuk kita ambil inisiatif masuk ke universiti, jumpa dengan adik-adik semua. Dan hari ini presentation tak panjang, sikit saja dalam 20 minit. Tapi selepas ini saya nak dengar apa cadangan ataupun pandangan adik-adik semua. So nanti silakan, jangan segan, jangan malu. Hari ini sempoi saja. Saya mau pakai jeans. So jangan risau. Dan jangan risau tentang kehadiran. Saya baru bagi tahu Prof Zamri dan Prof Kahar. Dulu saya pun jarang-jarang saya akan hadir program seperti ini dengan Menteri mengarut. Lepas tu malam-malam kita ada program sendiri kan. So thank you for coming. Thank you very much. And today initially I wanted to give you a very rosy picture about our science, technology and innovation. However, few days ago someone ruined my plan. One crazy fella he made one crazy decision and put the whole world in limbo. So unfortunately, I cannot paint a very rosy picture of our science, technology and innovation ecosystem. So please bear with me. However, I want to let you know what is the overview of science, STI, science, technology, innovation, STI ecosystem in Malaysia. Well, a lot of people have this question in mind. How good or how bad is our science and tech in Malaysia? How do we gauge? Bagaimana kita nak kena pasti sama ada kita ni bagus atau tidak bagus, sains kita ni, tech kita ni. So selalu orang tanya, saya kata okay, to be objective, kita ada satu ranking, world ranking, dinamakan GII, Global Innovation Index. Dalam Global Innovation Index ni, dia akan ada banyak indikator lah, 82 indicators. So dia akan gauge, dia akan bagi markah lah berapa yang kita dapat, berapa negara ini dapat. So Malaysia is ranked Malaysia is ranked 33 among 133 countries. 33 kedudukan kita pada tahun lepas lah. Kedudukan kita 33 di kalangan 133 negara. Orang kata mungkin ini kira pencapaian, boleh tahan lah, bukan baik sangat, boleh tahan. So bagaimana kita nak tengok? Kalau bagi saya, roughly 1 to 25 consider high-tech nation, 25 is New Zealand, 26 Italy, so 24 Belgium. So 1 to 25 I think high-tech nation, we can consider that. 25 to 30 almost there, but not there yet. 30 and above, we are not there yet. So Malaysia 33, and we have one ambition. We want to be a high-tech nation by 2030. Maksudnya high-tech nation apa? Maksud high-tech nation adalah kita bukan saja pengguna teknologi, tetapi kita adalah pencipta teknologi, kita adalah pengeluar teknologi. So this is our goal. By 2030, we want to be high-tech nation. Tapi a lot of things we need to do lah. So untuk GII ni. So ada orang tanya, so what is our plan? Mosti. Apa peranan Mosti? What is our plan? What is your focus? Saya nak bagi tahu kawan-kawan semua, our plan is sejak saya dilantik sebagai menteri, saya bagi satu akronim. Semua orang Malaysia, semua orang di Malaysia suka akronim kan. So I bagi satu akronim juga. What we want to do is precise. P-R-E-C-I-S-E. P is for people centric. Maksudnya apa yang kita buat perlu memastikan apa yang kita buat itu is people centric. Secondly, R is what? R is R&D, research and development. So dalam research and development kita ada banyak sektor lah. Nanotechnology, semiconductor, blockchain, AI, biotechnology, space technology. Unfortunately semua di bawah Mosti. So saya kena jaga semua tu. Walaupun yalah saya tak pandai sangat, tapi saya kena jaga semua tu. So that is R&D. E, enculturation. Enculturation maksudnya pembudayaan, pembudayaan sains dalam masyarakat kita. So yang di bawah Mosti selalu kita anjurkan program seperti Minggu Sains Negara. Kita ada pameran di setiap negeri. Seperti Tech Limpik, kita ada competition for primary school student, secondary school students. So kita ada TV show Innovaton. Siapa pernah tonton Innovaton? Sikitnya. Saya orang tak tengok television. So Innovaton juga part of our science and culturation. PRE. C is capacity building. Capacity building maksudnya kita perlu membina capacity lah, capacity building, or especially on our human resources. I is investment, or investment tentang tech. Memang kita rasa itu tanggungjawab Mosti juga. Kita perlu mainkan peranan untuk menarik investment yang berkaitan dengan teknologi, especially teknologi tinggi. SE, startup ecosystem. Startup ecosystem. So dalam the whole science, technology and innovation ecosystem, startups are very important. That's why we put startup into this whole things that we need to do. That's why we call precise. So itu adalah beberapa benda yang kami nak buat. Dan apa fokus kita? Fokus kita before I sentuh tentang fokus, kita kena faham dalam dunia sains teknologi ini, we cannot think we can do everything. There's no one country can do everything, not even the most advanced country. So for us to have our focus, kita kena fikir what we actually want. Kenapa kita nak fokus yang ni? Saya bagi contoh. Saya pergi ke one of the focuses is space technology. Apa program yang kita ada in mind sekarang, in the pipeline? Kita nak adakan, kita nak manufacture. Kita nak buat satellite, remote sensing satellite sendiri dalam 2 tahun atau 3 tahun, 2 or 3 years. We want to have our very own Malaysian made remote sensing satellite. Remote sensing satellite ni tak ada apalah, sekarang banyak negara boleh buat. I bagi satu contoh, I pergi China, I pergi tengok satu agency kerajaan dia. Dia macam kita punya dia macam US punya NASA lah. They call CNSA. So I pergi, before I ingat I nak brag, I nak bagi tahu, in 2 or 3 years time kita akan ada our first Malaysian made remote sensing satellite. Tapi before I brag, nasib baik I tanya dulu. I tanya, so when did you launch your first satellite? China, I tanya, when did you launch your first satellite? Oh, dia kata lama dah. Lama itu bila? 1970. So saya terus diam. I tak berani cakap dah. Sebab orang 1970 sudah launch their own satellite. Hari ini baru kita nak buat our Malaysia first satellite. Tapi penting, sebab apa? Sebab satellite ini adalah something recurring. Dia bila dia ada dia ada lifespan dia. So bila kita sudah launch, kita beli, kita launch, lepas tu after few years dia akan jadi obsolete, tak boleh guna, kita kena beli lagi. So keep buying will cost us a lot of money. So we have to have R&D on this. So that is space technology. Then we are also going to focus in developing our very own human vaccine. Setakat ini Malaysia tak ada capacity untuk buat human vaccine. We only have capacity to manufacture animal vaccine. This is our current situation. But you tanya orang kata everywhere so many pharmaceutical companies can produce human vaccine. Just buy lah. Why want to develop ourselves? Yeah, before this memang we thought we don't need to buy, we don't need to research and we don't need to develop. But after this COVID, then we notice one very important thing, that we do not have vaccine sovereignty. Kita tak ada kedaulatan vaksin. Sebab apa? Apabila berlakunya satu pandemik, kita perlu vaksin, kita perlu beli. Dan bila beli, semua negara yang tidak ada keupayaan untuk buat vaksin manusia, kita kena beratur. So kena beratur, okay. Price will be determined by others. Whether they want to sell to you will be determined by others. So kita ada duit pun tak semestinya you boleh beli. So that's what we call vaccine sovereignty. That's why 2021 kita sudah ada plan untuk produce our own human vaccine by 2030. But hopefully, if everything runs smooth, by 2027 we will have our own human vaccine. So this is one of our focuses, and of course there are so many other focuses like hydrogen, nanotech, semiconductor. So these are our focuses. And what are our problems? Dalam science, technology dan innovation ecosystem ini, kita selalu ada problem. What are the problems? First problem, people are very cynical. So people are very cynical. People always they do not believe our own capacity. Kita tak percaya keupayaan orang Malaysia sendiri. So kita selalu ingat, kita selalu fikir, betul ke kita ada keupayaan ni? Bila kita kata kita nak buat satellite, betul ke you kereta pun, proton pun tak baik sangat, kan? Bila kita nak buat vaksin, you betul ke you animal vaksin pun tak baik sangat? You nak buat vaksin human vaksin. So anything pun bila kita sebut, ada cynicism dia, ada cynical orang yang dia selalu apa-apa kita cakap pun dia akan very cynical. Dia akan question you on that. So if you are also one of them, I just want to let you know how good we are, how good we are. I give you two examples. One, you go to Cyberjaya. Cyberjaya, there's one company, Turkish company, not Malaysian company. Turkish company. The name of the company is Turkish Aerospace. Turkish Aerospace came to Malaysia. They set up a company here. Why? Because they think our engineers are good. What they do? They hire our engineers. Buat apa? Dia orang design avionics. Avionics is computer of the airplane. Computer of the airplane. Boleh kata is the brain of the airplane. Siapa design? Orang Malaysia. Orang Malaysia, engineer Malaysia yang design. That company hire 150 engineers, Malaysian engineers, and they are expanding. So if you say we are not good, people come to Malaysia to set up company because we have good talents. Second, I want you to go to Melaka. Melaka, alah, lupa tempat tu. Batu Berendam, ya, CTRM. CTRM, dia adalah satu company subsidiary to Highcom. Apa tu? DRB Highcom. Apa CTRM buat? CTRM dia buat composite. Composite itu adalah parts of the airplane, yang body itu, aircraft body. Part of it manufactured in Malaysia by Malaysian. So if you are still cynical, nanti kita bawa you pergi sana tengok sendiri. Boeing dia, Airbus dia, beli dari kita. So beli dari kita. That's why if you are still cynical, nanti saya akan anjurkan satu rombongan ke kita pergi lawat satu-satunya, bukan satu-satunya lah, ada company, high tech company, and of course Petronas is also one of them. Petronas very famous, very terkenal di dunia ini, bukan saja di Malaysia. You think Petronas only famous in Malaysia? Petronas is very famous, known in the world, one of the best oil and gas company. So don't be cynical. Secondly, our problem is what? When we talk about science, technology, and innovation, our problem is fear. We always fear that we will be we will lose out. We always fear we will lose out. So when we talk about tech, we always fear because of the cynicism. We thought we are not good enough. People are better. That's why when we talk about tech, they said, "No lah, better not. This one, they are better. Or that country is better. That country is better. But definitely not Malaysia." So this is another very wrong concept or very wrong perception where people think that Malaysia is going to lose out. But I just want to inform you one fact. Under this global GII, tadi yang saya sebut tu, Global Innovation Index, there are 82 indicators. Malaysia ranked number 1 in 3 indicators. I just want to inform you, one of the 3 indicators is talent. Malaysia has the most science and engineering graduates in terms of percentage. Kita rank number 1 in the world. So out of 82 indicators, we rank number 1 in 3 indicators. Of course, that's why others we lose out. That's why we are ranked 33rd. But in the world, we are number 1 in Global Innovation Index on science and engineering graduates in terms of percentage. We are also number 1 in terms of high-tech export, high-tech export in trade. So you might not believe, but look at the figures. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of competition. We are as good, if not we are better than others in the world. And third, anxiety. Okay, talk about this anxiety. Nanti saya akan masuk AI. So anxiety is what? Whenever there's a new tech emerge, people will be very anxious. Oh, adakah saya akan diganti oleh teknologi ini? So AI ya, baru-baru kita dengar banyak question. banyak soalan. Adakah saya akan diganti? Am I going to be replaced? Or are human beings are going to be replaced by AI? But if we look back, our human history during the Industrial Revolution, kita ada apa? Industrial Revolution ada apa? Ya tahu ke tak? Industrial Revolution kita ada steam machine, kan? Steam machine. Lepas that was the invented during that time, and during that time steam machine tu kira hebat lah, teknologi paling canggih dalam dunia. Masa itu orang takut tak? Orang anxious tak? Orang anxious sebab dia takut, dia tengok mesin ni very efficient, tak perlu guna tenaga manusia, dan dia takut, am I going to be replaced? But proven in the history that people, the steam machine did not replace human. And after that, kita ada komputer. Bila kita ada komputer, semua orang takut. People very anxious because they thought they are going to be replaced by computer, but it didn't happen. So when this AI thing come about, also a lot of people are worried that they will be replaced. But I tell you what, I'm going to give you an assurance, it is not going to happen. Same like what happened in the history. Whenever there's an emerging tech, people are anxious, people are worried, but it is not going to happen. You know why? Because human ni there's something in human that cannot be replaced. Is the ability to continuous learning. Ability to continuous learning. So this one cannot be replaced by any technology. So don't worry. So apa AI ini? AI ini adalah satu enabler, I would say. Dia cross sector. Although AI ni nampak canggih, dia ada machine learning, dia ada self learning. AI tu dia boleh belajar sendiri tau. Dia boleh belajar sendiri, dia boleh buat macam-macam yang manusia tak boleh. Yang manusia dulu manusia buat, tapi dia ada error manusia. Tapi AI tak ada errornya. Adalah, you kena train dia lah, kan. After training, mungkin dia akan ganti manusia. I mean, to me, it is not going to happen. But I just want to inform you one thing: you are not going to be replaced by AI, but you might be replaced by people who knows how to utilize AI. So this is very important. Untuk adik-adik di sini semua, nasihat saya, you kena make sure you are open-minded. Your mind is open enough to continue learning. Maybe you are not, you are just an engineering student, or you are just, cannot say you are just, maybe you are engineering student, maybe you are a science student, or even you are from sastra. Please continue to learn, because AI will be very important, and AI is shaping the future of how we are going to live, how we are going to work. And I just want to give you some statistic. In Malaysia at the moment, the workforce, only 15% is digital savvy. Only 15%. Maksudnya kita ada peluang yang banyak, peluang yang besar. Bila kita hanya ada 15% digital savvy, you have a lot of opportunities. And in Malaysia, 97% syarikat firms, they are SME. AI adoption only 30%. AI adoption only 30%. So that's mean you have so many opportunities. You ada banyak lagi peluang. That's why please open your heart, be willing to learn new things, especially things like AI, robotic, coding. So saya bagi contoh, if you are an engineer, you go and after graduation, you go and look for a job. So if you only know your profession, you only know how to buat engineering, but your colleague, your coursemate, he know a little bit more than you. He knows how to use AI. He knows how to utilize ChatGPT. Definitely, the boss will pick him or her. If he knows say Excel, he knows how to use Excel, then maybe the boss will, not maybe, definitely the boss is going to pick him or her. Just a little bit more. So you need to know a little bit more than your profession. So not necessarily you are a science student, you are an engineering student, only you need to, or you are an IT student, only you need to know AI. But the whole, I would say, whole nation, we should learn how to use AI. Bagi contoh, kita ada banyak inisiatif, like MOSTI, we have a roadmap, AI roadmap, 2021 to 2025. It's ending this year, but we started early. So this AI roadmap sudah pun consider provide. We have already provided a direction and to the whole AI ecosystem, to the industry player, to the stakeholders. So maybe we might have a new roadmap after this, but we don't know. Then we are still looking at, we are still reviewing it. And also last year we just launched our AIGE, AI Governance and Ethics. Maksudnya, this is not a law. This is not a law, but this is just a framework where we hope everybody can use this as a guideline, especially those industry player and stakeholder, how to use AI ethically. So slowly, of course, maybe eventually dia akan jadi peraturan ataupun undang-undang in maybe years to come. But at least we already have this in Malaysia, and we are ahead of many countries. So what competitive advantage we have? One, government commitment. Sorry, long-winded lebih dah. Kata 20 minit, sekarang sudah lebih ya. Tapi tak apalah, saya menteri kan. Bagi sikit injury time. Bagi sikit injury time. So, okay. Alah, sampai mana saya. Okay. Our advantage. Satu, government commitment. Government is very committed in developing AI, because government knows that the importance of AI. Government knows that AI is going to shape the future of the country. That's why we are very committed. So last year, government committed 20 million for UTM, unfortunately not UM, for UTM to set up an AI faculty. So that already done. This year, additional 50 million for 5 universities to have special AI development in different sectors. So UM also is one of them. UM is on medical, yeah. AI application in medical field. UPM is on cyber security. UKM is on large language model, and USM is on semiconductor. So that is on top of the 20 million to set up the AI faculty. And of course, we know we have already attracted so many data centers to Malaysia. I know there are a lot of controversies about data center. People say data center might not be good investment because not many employment being created, and the energy consumption is very high, water consumption is also very high. But in order to develop AI, we have to have this, because AI is about computing power. AI is about storage, AI is about data. So of course we know data center might not be the best investment, but we need them for the moment to develop AI. So we have this, I would say we have this advantage because government is committed. So secondly, we have I would say relatively matured E&E ecosystem, especially in Penang, semiconductor, E&E, and those are very important, especially in terms of hardware. If we want to develop AI, we need to develop hardware as well. So our relatively matured E&E ecosystem is important for us to develop this AI. And of course, yeah, other things also. Yeah, I think I've already touch on all that. So what are the problems? Our problems is only one: talent. So we do not have enough talent. We got so many investment, tech-driven investment, who are willing to come to Malaysia, but we couldn't provide enough AI talent for them. So we have many initiatives by MOSTI, by Kementerian Digital, by KPT, Pengajian Tinggi, by Kesuma, Sumber Manusia. So we have so many upskilling and reskilling programs. If you are interested, of course you can go to our website. There are many introductions. But to me, I think we need to really work together. We need to collaborate, not only country to country, but also universities, ministries with ministries, students with students. So now we are in we call a post-normal era. So post-normal era means we have to do something not abnormal, but we have to do something beyond normal practice. So collaboration is very important. Of course, the tariff thing is very tariff thing is disastrous to tech development community. But anyhow, we are going to deal with it later. We need our adik-adik semua untuk be prepared to be someone who are willing to learn, who are willing to take up new challenges. And I'm telling you, outside world is going to be very tough. So we need to prepare ourselves, we need to equip ourselves while you are still in campus. And you have all the resources, you have good professors, you have good equipment, you have good classmates. So make use of what you have in the campus, and of course you are in one of the best universities in Malaysia. So please make use of what you have. And I think my sharing, I just stop here, and after this we can have more Q&A, more questions. Thank you very much.